Hey everyone, welcome to our introductory lecture on Terraform. Today we'll dive into the fascinating world of infrastructure as a code and learn how to use Terraform to manage and provision in our cloud resources more efficiently. Before we begin, let's quickly go through what we'll cover today. First, we'll start with an overview of what Terraform is and why it's gaining so much popularity in the industry. Then we'll explore the benefits of infrastructure as a code and understand how Terraform fits into the paradigm. Next, we'll take a closer look at the core Terraform concepts and components. And finally, we'll conclude with the live demonstration to see how Terraform is in action. So what exactly is Terraform? In simple terms, Terraform is an open source infrastructure as a code tool created by HashiCorp. It enables us to define and provision infrastructure resources across various cloud providers, such as AWS, Azure, GCP, as well as on-premises data centers. With Terraform, we can describe our desired infrastructure configuration using declarative code, and then Terraform creates and manages those resources for us. Now you might be wondering why ISC is becoming so popular. Well, infrastructure as a code allows us to treat our infrastructure resources just like any other software application. By using code to define our infrastructure, we gain considerable benefits. We can version control our infrastructure, easily replicate and reuse it, collaborate with teammates effectively, and ensure consistency across environments. IC also brings automation, repeatability, and scalability to our infrastructure provisioning process. Let's now explore the core concepts of Terraform. At the heart of the Terraform is Terraform configuration. This configuration is defined using HashiCorp Configuration Language (HCL) or JSON syntax and contains desired state of our infrastructure. We specify the resources we want to create, their properties, and any dependencies between them. Terraform uses providers responsible for managing the lifecycle of the resources. Each cloud seller has its own Terraform provider, which handles the interaction with the specific seller's API. For example, we have an AWS provider for managing resources on Amazon Web Services and an Azure provider for Microsoft Azure. Terraform operates using a dependency graph that allows it to determine the correct order of resource provisioning based on its dependencies. It ensures that resources are created or modified in the proper sequence considering any interdependencies. Now that we have covered the core concepts, we'll see how Terraform is used to provision resources on cloud providers such as AWS. I'll walk you through defining a configuration file, initializing the Terraform environment, and applying the changes to create the infrastructure resources. You'll get a hands-on experience and observe firsthand how powerful and efficient Terraform can be. This is all I've done. I prefer VS Code, which I'd recommend though not necessary. Then we have installed AWS SDK and set up IAM credentials for our device. Finally, I'd ran Terraform brew setup for macOS. With that said, we will create a provider file, then paste AWS provider to work with Amazon Web Services. In my terminal, I'll run Terraform init. This should set up all we need to start provisioning our AWS infrastructure. Next, we'll create another file called main.ts. I have a pre-written file to provision infrastructure for web app. We'll run Terraform init again to cover for resource complexities. In my terminal, I'll write Terraform plan. This will preview everything that's about to happen. Every good Terraform associate needs to be fluent at TF operations followed by HCL and providers in your daily use. The final step is Terraform apply. This should create all our mentioned resources. Before we wrap up, let me remind you that Terraform has extensive documentation website, a vibrant community, and a wide range of available modules to help you get started and solve common infrastructure challenges. Alright, that's all for today's lecture. I hope you should have proper understanding of what Terraform is and why it is an essential tool for managing infrastructure as a code. I'm Dipesh Bhoir, full stack developer and solutions architect, and this lecture is part of training manual for quick integration of potential authority. In our next section, we'll dive deeper into Terraform syntax, resource types, and advanced features. See you then.